Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked where I climb the online VGC 15 ladder, still using the Mega Low Punny team that I debuted in yesterday's episode. If you've not seen that or the update video, definitely check those out because there are a lot of exciting changes coming to this channel. Of course, today will also be the start of Trainer Tip Tuesdays, so that'll probably go up 1 or 2 hours after this video is up. I am also making an effort to upload a bit earlier to make sure that, those of you that live in a European time zone or whatnot can, watch it before you go to bed, because I know before I used to upload pretty late, and so those who lived maybe across the seas would have to wait a bit longer, stay up until like 1 or 2 in the morning to watch it. I didn't want that, so I hope you guys are enjoying the earlier upload time, and I can't thank you all enough for the feedback you showed on the update video and on yesterday's episode of Road to Ring. I also want to just quickly touch on one thing, which is the light goal or whatnot. So before I really said, okay, I want to implement a light goal, so if you guys reach this, number, I'll upload another video tomorrow, but I can definitely see how people misinterpreted that, and, a bunch of people were like, oh, that's greedy, you're only doing this for the money or whatnot, so I just wanted to quickly clarify that, because, first of all, I basically decided, I'm still going to do daily uploads of Road to Ranked regardless of how many likes the video gets, just because that's silly, but the reason why I ask for likes and for comments and whatnot is because it really helps me in trying to grow VGC. Of course, the most important thing, or not the most important thing, but one of the big things of a YouTube channel and the videos is when, you find a new content creator, you watch their first video, and, the things you look at immediately are the number of subscribers they have, the number of views their videos have, and, the like to dislike ratio, and then you watch the actual content, and, those things give a very strong first impression. So, I'm not going to be setting any goals for requirements because I love what I do and I'm very fortunate to get the chance to, so I'm still going to be uploading Road to Ranked regularly, daily, if my schedule allows me to, but all I have to ask is, leave a like if you enjoy the series and just show your support. There's no number we need to break, but I would really appreciate it. I put in really a lot of time into the content, and, just take a quick second. You definitely don't have to if you don't want to either. Please don't feel like I'm forcing you to. I know some people just are against liking videos on YouTube, and that's totally cool, but I just wanted to clarify that because I felt like there were some misconceptions, and I definitely want to make sure that you guys know that I'm doing this because I love YouTube videos. I love helping you guys get better at VGC. I really love the learning experience from YouTube. So I rambled a bit long there, but I felt like, I just wanted to clarify that as we are going to jump back into the ladder, currently with a rating of 1844. So sorry that was a bit longer of an introduction than normal, but I just wanted to clarify that because I felt like, some people, first of all, thought Road to Rank wouldn't be a daily thing anymore, and at first I was like, okay, if I see enough support for it, I will make it. Especially to get Docky from Italy with a rating of 1842 again, so we definitely played Docky before in Road to Rank, so this should be exciting. Looks like he's using the same team. But yeah, I just want to make sure you guys know where I stand on this. Please don't feel pressured by anything, just, if you want to show your support and if you enjoy the videos, I would really appreciate it, but just watching them and, of course, leaving comments and subscribing itself means a lot. But let's get into this game now, finally. Docky's got a team of Suicune, Breloom, Heatran, Sylveon, Kangaskhan, and Landorus T, as we've seen previously. So, of course, I am using Mega Lopunny now instead of really previous teams. I think Mega Lopunny here actually can be really solid because it can outspeed basically everything on my opponent's team. Especially being able to outspeed Kangaskhan is pretty nice. The main issue is my opponent's Suicune. I don't have a great way to deal with it. Aegis here can actually be really nice as well, but of course it's going to have to watch out for my opponent's Breloom, which can just choose to Spore it before anything else. So, I'm pretty scared of Breloom, honestly. I like the idea of actually leading Lopunny Landorus because that allows me to get a Fake Out off and I can U-turn out immediately to, get an Intimidate in, which would really shut down the Kangaskhan Breloom that my opponent, might want to go with. Though Lopunny's Sylveon isn't terrible either, and I am considering that. Just because my opponent doesn't have a great way to really deal with Sylveon's Hyper Voices, and it does over 50% basically to everything except the Heatran. So I am leaning towards that right now. I do like that a lot. This is a tough one because all my Pokemon, I can definitely make a case for bringing all my Pokemon in this match. Aegislash is honestly tempting, especially because I've got Wide Guard with it, so you know what, I'm going to go with Aegislash. For the last one, I think I want something to beat the Breloom a bit better. I mean, Hydreigon and Landorus both work here, but I think I'm going to lean towards Landorus here just because my opponent has 5 Pokemon that get hit by Earthquake, so I'm going to go with it. Though, in retrospect, that might have not been the brightest idea because I chose to leave Pokemon that support the Landorus well in terms of, levitating slash flying types. So I won't be able to just freely spam Earthquakes without protecting with my own Pokemon, which might make things a bit more challenging. But Docky here is actually going to go with Suicune and Sylveon, which is a pretty ideal lead matchup for me. as I'm going to go with Lopunny and Sylveon. Two pink Pokemon here. So obviously, my Lopunny does not want to take a Hyper Voice, so the obvious move here is just to fake out his Sylveon, and of course most Sylveons tend to be specs, as mine is, so I can just go for the fake out here in the Hyper Voice. Although the question here is he might want to switch out that Sylveon. Just because the fake out Hyper Voice play onto it is obvious. He might also have Protect with that Sylveon. You know, most Sylveon don't carry Protect. I'm actually thinking of running Pixie Plate and Protect on my Sylveon in the future, just so I get the choice of being able to Side Shock and Shadow Ball when I want to. So I do want to kind of Ice Punch or Low Kick here in anticipation of a Kangaskhan switch in, but the thing is, if normal Kangaskhan switches in here, it's going to be taking a ton of damage regardless. So I guess the one Pokemon that would really threaten me is Heatran. So I could Low Kick the Sylveon slot. But you know what? I'm just gonna fake out and Hyper Voice. He's gonna stay in, so if Sylveon protects here, then I'm gonna be in some trouble. But if it doesn't, then I'm perfectly fine. Like I said, most Sylveons tend to not carry Protect, but you know, there's a good chance this one might. Oh, Suicune protects. Does Sylveon protect as well? Let's see. Okay, so he is running Protect Sylveon, which is a pretty clutch move to have there. Smart double Protect there just to avoid any damage possible this first turn. Now it's pretty rough because well, first of all, the thing is I don't know who Sylveon is faster. I would think my opponent's is. So, you know, he can just Hyper Voice and Tailwind with Suicune. There's not very much I can do to stop that. The question is, do I want to conserve Lopunny right now? Sylveon having Protect there really messed things up a bit. I can also just return Hyper Voice. But I don't know, you would think keeping Lopunny would be pretty important given that my opponent has probably Kangaskhan and Lando in the back. So you know what, I'm going to switch into Aegislash and I'm going to go for the Hyper Voice. I think Lopunny is just too important right now to lose. And it is good that he doesn't have specs on that Sylveon because it means Hyper Voice is obviously going to do less damage. So we can actually go straight for the Scald. Okay, targeting the Aegislash down. Hopefully no burn here, but my opponent does get the burn, which is going to be a bit annoying. However, my Sylveon's actually faster than my opponent's, which is good news to know. And I am able to do just over 50% to it, as mine takes his Hyper Voice pretty well, actually. So Aegislash being burned is a bit annoying, but you know, it is what it is. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to Shadow Ball the Suicune and Hyper Voice. I really thought we'd see a Tailwind come out of that Suicune, but I guess my opponent just wanted to go for the more aggressive play. I thought Tailwind would have been better, but this is actually fine, because now he's probably going to want to like Protect with the Sylveon, because you know, you saw that mine outsped his, and Suicune might go for like a Tailwind, but if he does go for that play, I just double targeted into it. Then the following turn, I can Wide Guard with Aegislash to prevent his Hyper Voice. So I feel pretty good about my position, though. You know, I didn't want to risk the speed tie there with Sylveon. I don't know who Sylveon is faster, so I didn't go for it. Obviously, if I just returned and Hyper Voiced, I would be in a better position right now, but there's a chance Lopunny could have gotten burned, given that Aegislash got burned there. I guess one of the weaknesses of this team is it doesn't have an electric or grass type. You know, I've used Pokemon like Thunder, Zapdos, I've used Virizion on stream, I've used Mega, Venusaur, so beating Suicune is somewhat difficult, but the thing is it can't take Hyper Voices that well anyway. So, decent position for me right now. Wow, he's not even going to... He just goes for the Scald onto Sylveon. I do outspeed, I get the Hyper Voice off. Let's see if this knocks his Sylveon out. It does, wow. I'm surprised this Suicune just isn't trying to set up a Tailwind. My opponent's playing super offensively. Scald does a minimal amount of damage there, and I'm going to get a Shadow Ball off here with Aegislash as well. I'm not sure if it's enough to knock out Suicune, because, of course, I am max special attack, but I don't have a, you know, special attack boosting item like Life Orb. Ah, and I was so close. I really think I might run Life Orb on this Aegislash in the future over on the Hydreigon. I might even swap out the Hydreigon just because, like, I really need the KOs here. In yesterday's episode, Aegislash also came very close, but not enough to KO the threats. So Breloom's going to come in here, and it's actually a bit interesting because the burn prevents him from... what was I going to say? The burn prevents him from sporing it, but what my opponent can do here is just Scald Aegislash and Spore Sylveon. Let's see. I mean, like, my opponent not setting up Tailwind has been pretty fortunate for me, but I would think, like, maybe a Tailwind would be coming now. So maybe I should not Protect. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually not going to bother King Shielding with my Aegislash here, because if he goes for the Protect, I can punish him. what I'm going to do is target down the Suicune, because I suspect that my opponent's last Pokemon is going to be the Kangaskhan, or the Heatran, and Landorus deals with that pretty well. He goes straight for the Bullet Seed onto Sylveon, okay. That's going to knock me out. Good Bullet Seed there. I didn't want to switch into a Spore, so unfortunately I was going to lose the Sylveon there. You know, I was considering switching out into maybe like Land OT. Let's see if Suicune goes for the tail when I'm expecting it to. No, my opponent just keeps on using Scald with this Suicune. Unfortunately knocking out Aegislash, so that was a great turn for my opponent. And that was a tough one. I thought I'd see Spore Tailwind coming, but maybe this Suicune doesn't even have Tailwind. So I do get a free switch into Landorus and Lopunny, but the main issue right now is my Lopunny doesn't have Protect, and if my opponent's last one is Kangaskhan, then this is going to get a bit dicey, because I am not going to be able to get an Intimidate off against the Kangaskhan. I was hoping I could knock out Suicune there, but my opponent made a really good play, double targeting there. So let's see. I'm going to fake out Breloom. And this kind of sucks, right, because first of all, I don't know what my opponent's last Pokemon is. And I don't want to Earthquake myself, obviously, so I might be forced to Rock Slide here, which would be very unfortunate, but I think I'm just going to go for it. My opponent got me in a better position. Breloom's going to go for the Smart Protect, which makes sense. What does Suicune go for? Does not Protect, okay. Rock Slide. Connects with Suicune, knocking it out, so it's going to be 2-2, but we'll see what my opponent's last Pokemon is. So, could be Land OT, could be Heatran, which I would probably not mind. Okay, it's going to be Kangaskhan. Me not having Protect with Lopunny right now is really unfortunate. I'm just going to locate Kangaskhan and Rock Slide. Now that's the issue with not having Protect. You know, I talk about having if you watch VGC at all, you know how good of a move Protect really is. So I'd say the one turn my real opponent really got me was just the turn he got to Bullet Seed Sylveon and Scald the Aegislash. I was expecting Tailwind this entire time, but apparently he just didn't have it. And it might be a good idea to have Protect on Lopunny, just because in situations like this it would really help me out. But who knows, maybe my opponent will target double target Landorus, like expecting the Protect from Lopunny. If that is the case, then I can knock out Kangaskhan immediately with this low kick, and I can still win, but it's gonna be close. Okay, Fake Out comes out. No, it's gonna target Lopunny down. Okay. Might even be in Mach Punch KO range. So I get a Rock Slide off here. A flinch would be really clutch. Let's see. Nope, he gets a Spore off. Doubling into Lopunny. Yeah, so that's like why I need Protect on that Lopunny. I wonder if my opponent knew I didn't have Protect, because that was a pretty aggressive play, but it was a smart one at that. So my opponent's basically got me locked up here. Well, good, just a good game played by my opponent. Very aggressive. I thought like Tailwind was coming out of Suicune the entire time, but in general, I think the weaknesses that showed were like I didn't have many safe switch-ins that one turn, as he goes for Facade with the yellow Kang. I do remember he featured that earlier on Road to Rank. That's gonna knock me out. As what does Breloom go for? It's probably gonna Bullet Seed. Oh, I flinch. Okay, so if I get a billion flinches, I can still win. But yeah, it's gonna be over basically at this rate. But I don't know, with Rock Slide anything is possible. Though I'm probably gonna actually run out of PP because this one is not PP max, and my opponent's gonna play it smart. You know, go for the Sucker Punch, because you know I didn't get an Intimidate off against it. Look how much damage it does, 88 damage. I do get the Rock Slide off, so slowly trying to feint both of my opponent's Pokemon, but it's a lost cause at this rate. It really does nothing. I do get another flinch on Breloom though, which is interesting. But yeah, it's a good game. So this team is definitely not perfected, and I'm actually probably going to be editing it slightly to make it better, obviously, in the future episodes of Road to Rank, as Mr. Rock Slide against Kangaskhan. So I think one thing I want to consider is, one, having Protect on that Sylveon, because it gives me a bit more versatility. Two, I think I'm gonna run a. I really want to swap out the Hydreigon and then put the Life Orb onto Aegislash, because Aegislash is just missing out all these really important knockouts that I needed to. Like, all my opponent's Pokemon are hanging on with a sliver of HP, and I don't really know if that's damage rolls or not, but I'd rather get that Life Orb to really get insurance, as Sucker Punch is going to knock out my Landorus. So really the main issue here was my opponent went for a really smart play by going for the Bullet Seed, obviously, that one turn with Breloom instead of the Spore onto Sylveon, and I just figured, like, I couldn't switch into anything and get Spored. I might actually consider a Grass type on this team. For example, I think Amoonguss plus Lopunny would be a really good core, just because Amoonguss can redirect attacks away. But we are going to take a loss there. I didn't feel like, either of us were ahead too much in any point in the game, but the issue with, the team I'm using right now also, as opposed to the previous bulkier teams like Mega Venusaur, is like you saw there, I didn't have any safe switch-ins, and this team definitely has its weaknesses, but a very well played game by Docky there as well, as I think that was a great read with the Suicune and Breloom. I can't stress how important it would have been to pick up the knockout there onto Suicune there, because I think if Suicune fainted from Shadow Ball, I would have had the game won, because I could have actually recycled Landorus's T's Intimidate and whatnot. The burn on Aegislash was also, it put more pressure on me, and that's why I didn't go for the King Shield that turn, because I felt like another Scald could KO me. Whereas if he didn't, burn me, I wouldn't have taken 2 extra turns of burn, so I could have King Shielded and then attacked the following turn, though I guess consequently he could have spored me, so I'm not sure how that played out, but I think the issue with Lopunny really is like that double protect totally caught me not off guard, but the thing is I really wasn't expecting him to have protect with Sylveon. And the thing is Lopunny really wants to capitalize off fake out on the first turn. If it doesn't get it, then you're already set behind a fair amount. Javier from Spain with a rating of 1660 is going to be our next opponent of the day with a very cool rain team. I like this a lot. He's got Politoed, Ferrothorn, Swampert, Noivern, Heliolisk, and Sableye. So lots of new Pokemon here. Bunch of Pokemon I had questions from you guys about, so it should be interesting here. Now let's see. Sylveon kind of just beats everything but Ferrothorn, so I think I'm gonna lead Lopunny Sylveon, because Lopunny Mega Evolves, gets scrappy, and can fake out the Sableye immediately. I do like that a lot. Let's see, I kind of need a way to effectively deal with the Ferrothorn, though I don't have a great way to beat it, honestly. But Aegislash is, I guess, as good as it gets. So I'm going to go with Aegislash, and Aegislash can also help Wide Guard, which is nice. And I actually really want Landorus as my last one, because I can intimidate the Ferrothorn, but Hydro is kind of nice here, too, but it gets outsped by Mega Swampert once it's in Rain, and the Noivern. Landorus is Scarfed, so I could use that to my advantage. I mean, Suicune here is also nice because they can just Tailwind and they can Scald. But I kind of want another Pokemon to beat the Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is definitely the most intimidating thing on my opponent's team right now. It's a tough call to make. And Suicune is so tempting too, just because like it's bulky. Though maybe my opponent might want to bring Heliolisk to beat it here, so maybe I should anticipate that. So Hydreigon or Landorus. I'm gonna go with the Hydreigon here, actually. Yeah. So basically, a lesson I learned in that last game was, if you do notice that a lot of my Pokemon on my team aren't carrying Protect. For example, Sylveon isn't. Lopunny isn't, Landorus T isn't, and that kind of limits the amount of plays I have each turn. I think it's actually interesting because I was talking to Wolfweeklik and Ray Rizzo, who are obviously like 2 of the best players to ever play the game, and we have we were texting each other, and Wolf was saying how like Ray shouldn't have used Spec Sylveon at regionals because like it kind of limits the amount of plays he can make every turn, and Ray being such a good player he is, you get more versatility when you're a good player and you're not using Choice Mon, so that's why I'm thinking of putting Protect and maybe like Pixie Plate on this Sylveon. But I have a pretty optimal lead matchup here as he goes with Noivern and Politoed against my Sylveon and Lopunny, because I can just Hyper Voice here. Now I kind of want to switch out Lopunny actually into Aegislash, but I also just fake out Hyper Voice here. Now the thing is, Noivern is a Pokemon that often likes to Tailwind, so I kind of actually want to fake out Noivern and Hyper Voice, just because the fake out onto Politoed is obvious, and that way I can prevent Tailwind from going up. So I'm gonna go for that play. And if it goes up, then that's fine. I mean, no, if like worst case, Noivern protects here, Politoed goes for like a Scald, but that shouldn't KO me anyway. Unless a Scald of course can burn, as demonstrated in the last game. Okay, cool. I do get the fake out off. He doesn't protect with either. Of course, Noivern's often Focus Sash, and it's so fast too, so I just don't want Tailwind going up here. Hyper Voice goes before the Politoed, revealing that I'm faster. That's important knowledge to know, as I'm going to be able to pick up the knockout immediately against it. Noivern, one of the biggest threats to my Hydreigon as well, so that's a really big KO right away. He is going to go for the Scald onto Lopunny, and gets the burn. Lopunny is just not getting any breaks today. That's frustrating. Scald's burn rate is too good, but Sludge Bombs is as well, and I've gotten so many lucky Sludge Bomb burns, so I can't complain, but Ferrothorn's gonna come out for my opponent here. Man, that sets me back a bit, But I'm gonna withdraw into Aegis Slash. And I'm gonna go for the low kick onto Ferrothorn. It's not obviously gonna KO, but I really just need as much damage off against this Ferrothorn as possible. You know, if I didn't burn there, then I could have put so much more offensive pressure this next turn, but we'll see how much this low kick does. A fair amount, okay. Like, I won't complain about that much. As, let's see. He is Rocky Helmet, okay. Scald into, I'd assume, Low Punny. Yep. So good there, because Aegis Slash, you know, doesn't get Scald burned or anything like that. As I'd suspect we're going to see a Gyro Ball, yep, straight into the Aegis Slash. So pretty predictable plays for my opponent so far. But, good ones nonetheless. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is just switch in Sylveon now. And I think Hyper Voice plus Shadow Ball can actually knock out the Ferrothorn. So I'm just going to go for that play. I think a cool play would have been to Shadow Ball my own Aegis Slash because I have weakness policy. But first of all, that would do too much damage. Second of all, it's just not necessary right now. Opponent's not going to protect with either Pokemon, so I do get another Specs Hyper Voice off here. Probably gets the Scald off against Aegis Slash. No burn here. Aegis Slash Slants Chain just gets the Shadow Ball off. I get the feeling it's not going to KO. This Aegis Slash just hasn't been able to pick up knockouts, but let's see. Oh my gosh, it hangs on with literally 1 HP, like, once again. Sylveon, however, fortunately enough, does survive that the Gyro Ball, which is actually really, really big here. So both of us being able to survive the attack, so that's fortunate for sure. So let's see. If anything, he'd protect Politoed right now. And okay, yeah, I'm really glad I survived there. If I didn't, I'd feel like I'd be in a worse position. Just because now I get to burn another turn of rain, there's a good chance my opponent's last Pokemon is that the Swampert. But I think after today's episode, my lesson is to put Life Orb on this Aegis Slash. It really needs the extra damage output. It's just missing out on too many KOs right now. I'm thinking here, you know, he can protect with one Pokemon, or he can just lose both. Best play is to protect, so I'm just gonna King Shield, because there's no reason not to, and Hyper Voice. So the fact that King shielded before the Politoed protected means Poly didn't protect this turn. So I should just knock both of his Pokemon, unless he protects with Ferrothorn, but I guess my opponent just doesn't get a protect on either Pokemon, as Hyper Voice does pick up the knockout on both. So this has been a very fast and offensive game. Another one in which Low Punny wasn't able to do much, but the fast Fake Out did help out a lot, and the Low Kick actually gave me some nice damage. I'm still perfecting the Low Punny set, so I'm working on it, and of course, you know, it's never a finished team here on Road to Rank. Swampert's going to be my opponent's last Pokemon, so I hope I can catch him off guard here with a Wide Guard, which is what I'm going to go for. Because obviously, you know, if you're my opponent, you want an Earthquake here. So we'll see if Javier is smart enough to predict this Wide Guard, and go for maybe something like a Waterfall into Sylveon. But, you know, it's still not over. Mega Swampert under rain can definitely clutch it out. He does go for the Protect. Okay. Good play there, but it does burn a turn of rain, as a Wide Guard obviously preventing anything from happening there, but my opponent is able to scout out that I have Wide Guard, so he's... I mean, there's no way he's going to Earthquake once again, so he's probably going to Waterfall Sylveon. In anticipation of that, I'm just going to Shadow Ball, and... do I switch out here? Because he might Ice Punch that slot too. But then he has no way to beat Aegis Slash, so I'm just going to switch out. Since once the rain goes down, I think I should outspeed the Mega Swampert anyway. Let's see. So Hydra comes in here. Wow, he just went for the Earthquake again. Okay. I don't know if Aegis Slash can survive this. Oh, it doesn't. Wow, I can't believe he just went for it. I don't really know what to say about that, but okay. So I'm gonna bring in Sylveon. Things get a bit antsy here, but Hydra should be able to survive an attack, so, like, I get a free Hyper Voice here, and basically if he targets Hydra, I survive, and I just KO with Hyper Voice plus Dark Pulse. If he targets Sylveon down, then I get a Dark Pulse, I can protect, and then Draco Meteor after the rain expires. I don't know why he continues to protect, because he's stalling out his own rain, but, I think it's weird that Swampert's protecting when his Pokemon weren't protecting previously, as rain does stick around for another turn, but I'm just going to Hyper Voice and Dark Pulse here. I can't believe he went for the Earthquake, but that was a really great read by him, I guess. He's going to Earthquake once again. Unfortunately, Sylveon obviously can't take that one, but I do get a free Dark Pulse off. And then it should be in KO range for Draco Meteor. But, yeah, like I said, you know, the game wasn't over, and my opponent definitely played really well with that Swampert to... Oh, wow, I get a crit there. But, yeah, it should be in Draco KO range, and Rain does stop there. Which is grip, so as long as I hit this Draco Meteor, I'm all good, but Draco Meteor's accuracy, of course, not exactly the highest. 90 is the worst. But I fortunately connect with the Draco here. It should be enough to knock out this Mega Swampert. So let's see. Picks up the KO, cool. So I am able to win today's episode, or the second game in today's episode, as we split it 1-1 once again. Great game once again to Docky in the first game, and nice game to Javier here as well, featuring some cool Pokemon like always, Breloom, Mega Swampert, all that good stuff. And it's always exciting to feature, you know, a Pokemon that aren't as common. So this Mega Lopunny team so far has been doing alright. Lopunny itself has not been really doing a fantastic job, but I do think I have to make some small edits to this change. So I think for the next episode, you can probably expect to see Life Orb on Aegislash, a different item on Hydreigon, maybe a Pixie Plate with Protect on Sylveon, and perhaps Protect on Lopunny as well. I'm also thinking of having Superpower on this Landorus because Knockoff isn't as helpful. But yeah, so that's it for this one, guys. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. This team has been really fun, and I do like Aegislash a lot. I think it's a really good Pokemon in this format. And Mega Lopunny so far hasn't, like I said, been able to do too much, but you know, we're still going to try it out, and hopefully it'll be able to pull its weight in the future episodes. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one. As always, leave a like if you did, and stay tuned because trainer tips will be coming out a bit after this one. Should be exciting. It won't be a very long video, and it'll just be, you know, a nice way to help you improve your game, really cater towards beginners, but it should be a fun video. But yeah, anyway, that's it for this one, guys, and I shall see you later today and tomorrow. Alright, peace.